I'm joined by Jennifer Lavoie, the Director of Revenue Integrity at Rush University Medical Center. Jennifer will be participating in the upcoming Revenue Integrity meeting hosted by the Health Exchange on March 26th, where revenue cycle professionals will discuss the impact of evolving reimbursement models, payer mandates, and regulatory requirements on hospital revenue cycle performance. Jennifer, thanks so much for coming on today. To get started, might you share with us a little bit about your professional background, both how you got your start in the healthcare industry and some of the roles that you've enjoyed in your career thus far?
Absolutely. My first degree was in corporate communication. With that, I worked in sales and account management and finance. And then I decided to become a nurse halfway through my career. So I went to school to be a nurse, got that degree, and then I worked at a pharmaceutical company in the bioscience division, which manufactured medications. And I did the FDA audit. So that really kind of got me into this different side of nursing, right out of the gate. Along the way, I was a hospice nurse and then became a nurse auditor in a HIM department. And that's where I really learned about the healthcare as a business and how to create compliant bills that were fair and accurate, using the codes, so many different codes, and all of the regulations to make sure that we were right on track. From there, the industry was evolving and became revenue integrity, where I then worked in the charge capture section of revenue integrity, got very close with software and how we can harness the automation in the software to do that charge capture for us. With that, I worked in Epic, Cerner, Meditech, and then I converted all of those into Epic platforms. So lots of software in there that kind of always finds me. With that said, I went and worked for a software company where we actually developed the revenue cycle products. So kind of pulling that clinical care and combining it with, the codes and all the charges. And then I also led a account management customer care team at a different software company where the customers were hospital revenue integrity departments. And so my group was at the software company taking care of those revenue integrity groups. Then I came back to healthcare. I always had the mission in my heart. And so with that said, love working for health systems. It's a difficult business. It keeps getting harder every year. And so with that said, just really supporting the mission and how to fund the mission at a health system these days is definitely my passion.
Super. You bring so many different experiences working both in the clinical and with the technology and with the auditing. You really have an amazing perspective on the business, which I think is really terrific. In your current role at Rush University Medical Center, what are some of the key areas of focus for you and your team as you look at the year ahead?
Definitely. So, looking at revenue cycle and revenue integrity holistically, I think it's important to look at, all components. Your CDM, definitely, that's kind of the trunk of the tree, I would say, right? When all the codes are, built correctly in that CDM, that really sets the health system up for success. Also looking at other codes and how they interrelate with that CDM. So you've got your CPT codes, your HCPCS codes, diagnosis codes, how they all fit together to get a nice claim out the door, in a clean and compliant way. I think it's very important. We're looking at charge capture, right? If you've got it built in the CDM and the clinicians are doing that care, you want to make sure that it gets triggered and captured every time. And harnessing automation is the most accurate way. If your automation is set up accurately, it's going to get you that accurate charging. Doing that, we're just kind of touching the iceberg on data. How can we use data for some insights to tell a good story, to get insights to understand where are hotspots that we need to improve. That's, or where are things that we're doing well? Those are always good stories to tell as well. So just really expanding our data area as well as projects, sometimes fixing the complex problems in healthcare and in revenue cycle, it takes a project. So we're creating some project roles where, just leading that through in a formal and organized fashion to make sure that we've got all the facets touched. Mhm.
Sounds really exciting, a really exciting time for
Uh,
you and doing so many different initiatives. It must be really gratifying.
mhm. Yeah, indeed.
We're looking forward to having you participate in our opening panel at the upcoming revenue integrity meeting, where we're going to talk about a lot of different issues from kind of those regulatory and compliance drivers to the impact of evolving reimbursement models and the people, processes, and technology that are really needed to make revenue integrity programs work. What's just one area that you're looking forward to discussing either with the panelists or with the audience during that upcoming session?
Yeah, yeah. One thing that I think is important, and every health system that I've been at has the need to connect the clinical care with those charges, the CDM and the charge capture. It's the magic formula, right? And so, with that said, pulling in nurses to finance, nurses that understand the clinical care, and then training them in the art of revenue integrity so that they can understand how it all fits together, right? And then having them work as liaisons with the clinical care departments to understand, what is the care you're providing? Do we have it built in the CDM? Are we triggering the charge? And is it all coming together in an accurate, compliant way? And so by creating that nurse liaison and building those bridges with the clinical departments, so many problems can get solved, so many processes improved, and just make it a winning formula for the health system.
Absolutely wonderful. And we really appreciate you coming on today and sharing a little bit about yourself with us and also for joining the panel in March. You've got just such a great experience and we really appreciate your valuable insights.